everybody, this is your boy from LS Outdoors, coming at you with another fishing hack video.
Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Fishing with Big D. Today we're going to be going out and doing some carp fishing. Now it's been a while since I've done some carp fishing, since my buddy passed away from LNS Outdoors, Mr. Shannon. Video kind of recognizes him. We haven't done this in a long time, so I thought I'd go out and give it a shot. He's one of the first people that got me turned on to fishing for carp. It's actually quite a lot of fun. Those fish fight hard when you can get them to bite, and they're really unique in what they eat. So there's different ways to catch them, a lot of different varieties of baits and stuff you can use, but it's truly grown to be an interesting sport, especially overseas. It's really big overseas, especially places like Europe. But what we're going to do is we're going to make our own homemade carp fishing bait today using some leftover bread from a cookout I had. That way it don't go to bad. But I'll show you what kind of mixture I'm going to do, and we'll walk through each of those steps on how to make your own carp bait. Now the majority of all this stuff here that you're going to see that I'm using, you can find in your house at any given moment. Most people keep these as regular everyday use items. Alright guys, I've switched my camera angle up so you can see what I'm doing here. We're going to start off with our container. If you're going to do some carp fishing, you got to have a lot of bait with you because you're going to go through a lot in a little bit of time. I just bought one of these neat little Rubbermaid containers with a lockable lid. Pretty good size, like so. So first we're going to start off with our base, which is going to be our bread. I've got some hot dog buns left over from our cookout that we're getting ready to go to waste. So that's what I'm going to use. And just to add a little sweetness factor to it, I got 2 pieces of cornbread from the other night. That'll give it some sweet cornmeal flavoring to it. So what I do to prepare the bread, I use a food processor. I got a little food processor here. All I'm going to do is I'm going to put little chunks in here and grind them up so that I get a really small crumble effect on these buns. Alright, we'll pop this open and show you guys what it looks like. Now you are going to have some pieces that don't fully break. Pull them out and you can retry the next batch. And I'm just getting this real fine crumbles, and I'm going to fill this tote or container up with that. Alright guys, so I'm going to go ahead and process a bunch of this off camera, and I'll be right back. Alright guys, we processed the whole bag of hot dog buns there. As you can see, it still has some room. I'm going to pull some more leftover buns that I had out, process now. But I just wanted to show you what it looked like. As you can see, it's a real fine powder, and it's real light and fluffy. So when you squeeze that and you pack that to make your bait stick to your method lead, it's going to work out really well. Now you can use breadcrumbs. The only problem with breadcrumbs is that they're really dry and really fine. So when you go to pack these, they're not going to hold together very well unless you get them wet with some kind of water or mixture or flavoring. I like to use the corn juice if I'm going to go that method, but you can definitely use these. And I do recommend using a little mixture of this as well. It gives us that sweetness, and it makes the material kind of pack together better. So I'm just going to add a little bit of these 2 products in there, not a whole lot. That's just going to really help it to pack better, in my opinion, and give it that sweet flavoring, because that's what the carp are going to be looking for. Alright guys, so I've finished up here. I have a nice and full container. That's what I'm going to use for my pack bait. Now let me show you what I'm going to use to go with that. I've got some whole kernel sweet corn. To make this portable, I'm going to put it in a Ziploc baggie. And you want to keep the juice. The juice is going to help you pack this bread. So all I'm going to do, I'm going to take it like this. Now the reason I'm not pouring it into my mixture is you don't want that to get all wet and messy before you get to your actual fishing zone. So I just pack mine in like that. Now another thing that I like to use is this cocaine killer corn dye. This stuff works really well. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and I'll put a little bit of this product in with my corn. And all it's going to do is it's going to dye that corn a pinkish tint. The more you use, the more pink it'll get. I just like to use a little bit of it to give it some flavoring. Alright guys, we're ready to go. We're going to take our carp bait out and we'll see you on the water. Alright guys, we've made it to the river today. We're going to be doing some carp fishing. This morning I showed you how to make homemade carp bait from bread scraps and a couple of items that you got just laying around your house. We're going to put that along with our pink corn into use. Now I do apologize, it's raining today. It has rained for almost 2 weeks, but we've truly needed that rain. Last time I was here, the water was down below the rock lines, very, very low. Thank goodness that our water is backing up. Looky there, we already got a carp in view right there. I think we're going to do good because I've seen a lot of carp swimming around. I chose this hole because it's got a deeper, calmer section right here with a little swirling motion where the water comes to a dead stop. Overall, I think we got pretty good chances today. That's what we're going to shoot for. Let's get rigged up and I'll show you what I got going on and show you what we're going to fish, and we'll get started guys. Alright, so today I'm going to be using 2 of my Cat Daddy fishing rods. These are made for catfishing technically, but I thought they'd make really good carp rods, and they sure have. I've had these for a couple of years now. They're a really good rod, a good company. I'm going to be test trialing these Shimano FX4000 series reels. Did a video on that coming up, or if it hadn't already dropped. Just kind of reviewing it and seeing how well they do. So the reason I bought these, I bought 2 of them to replace the old reels that came with this combo. Those reels have begun to give me some trouble. The bail system, spring system is messed up on 2 of them. So I decided to give that a shot. So we'll be seeing how well that works today. I've got it strung up with high-vis yellow 15-pound monofilament line, kind of for big game. And we're going to be using method leads guys. Now if you're not for sure how to use method leads, I've got a couple videos I've got links to down below. You can check my video history for them. A method lead is basically just a weight with this open groove system so that you can pack your pack baits for your carp fishing on. And that allows you to run a little stringer hook. It's about 6 inches below there. And I've got some fake corn on there, plastic corn. I'll show you that as well. There'll be links to all these items in my video description down below. But that corn, basically what we're going to do is we're going to pack our bread bait around that method lead. We're going to stick our little hook in there with our fake corn and a couple of pieces of the coated corn I've got in that baggie. We're going to pitch these out, and what will happen is that water will dissolve that bread. It'll start flaking up and dispersing around the lure. Carp will come in, and if you know carp are bottom feeders. They got that sucker mouth. They're going to start scurrying and sucking up those breadcrumbs, and in hopes they'll suck up that little piece of corn. When they feel that steel hook, or take off really quick, and it's going to self-set that hook, and our pole should start dancing and we'll have us a fight. Now guys, it's a super fun process, really neat. If you've never done it, I definitely recommend you giving it a shot. It's so much fun. We're going to be relying on our drag system, so I'm going to make sure I don't have my drag too tight, because I want him to be able to take off with it and not take my pole with him. So I got it set to where it's just strong enough it's going to allow that hook to set itself, and we should be good. So let's pack some bread on here and I'll show you what I'm doing. Alright, we're going to be using 2 poles today. I've got my bread here in my little package system that I got. Now I'm going to try to keep this covered because it is raining today. I don't want to make a big mess. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to take my method lead right here, and I'm going to take a ball of this bread and just basically pack it into that. I'll show you once I get done. Now I do recommend wearing some gloves if you don't like getting messy, but to start out with, I'm just going to pack the bread in there real good, clump it in there good and tight like that. I'm going to take that hook and I'm going to thread it down in that bread. I'm going to put some more bread over top of it and pack it some more. So I've just got a big chunk of ball of bread like that. Now later on I'll show you where the corn comes into play. We'll throw some of that out and start sending some attractant out in the water for people, or not people, for carp to come and start investigating. Alright, so we've got our first one set up there. That's what it looks like. Let me set my bread down. I'm going to cast this first one out here on the back side to get us going, like so. Not even really going to go out that far. Now all that's going to do is going to sink down to the bottom. I'm going to give it a few minutes. I'm going to place my rod holder like so, and after it's sank for a few seconds, I'm going to tighten my line up just a little bit so I've got a nice presentation. Alright guys, we're going to go ahead and thread up our second one. The exact same process, nothing different. I'm going to take my bait and I'm going to pack it down and inside there like so. Now our corn is starting to leak a little bit of that juice, but it'll be okay. It's not really going to hurt anything. Alright, now that I've got that packed in, I'm going to get me a piece of my fake corn, stick that on my hook. I will warn you, you are going to get a little sticky, a little messy, so just remember you can always wash your hands off in that river or that stream. Now I'm just setting that hook in like so, and I like running the hook up just a little bit to where it's on the shank, and then I'll take that hook and I'll bury it back in that bread like so. Clean my hands off a little bit. I do recommend bringing some gloves. I've got some gloves just because carp are a little slimy and have a little bit of a bad smell to them. Alright, so now we got 2 poles out. I'm going to set this one up. My other rod holder, got them separated a little bit just in case one takes off. I can hurry up, reel the other one in real quick, get it out of the way. Got my line tight. Make sure my drag is set. Okay, that one's too tight. There we go. I think we're good, guys. So now we're ready to play the waiting game. I'm already seeing some bubbles. We already saw some carp swim by. They were actually really close to the banks, so they're out there scurrying for food. I got a feeling today we're gonna catch a couple. Alright, I'm gonna get the rest of my stuff situated and cover my bread bait up out of this rain, and we'll turn the cameras back on when we see some action. Alright guys, so earlier I showed you that I put that corn and that juice in that cocaine corn killer recipe. All it does is it dyes that corn. I'm going to take a handful of this and I'm going to chum that water up. I'm going to throw it out there close to where my bait is. I'm going to throw another handful out here. Uh-oh. That's never good. Alright, we've got our water chummed up. Like I said, guys, as long as I don't see no lightning, I'm gonna tough it out. Alright guys, I don't know if my camera cut on in time enough, but there was a decent sized carp swimming around. He was actually skimming the surface from where some of that bread was floating. He dove back down, but he's not far from this bait that I got out right here. Hopefully he'll get to scurrying around and pick up that piece of fake corn and set that hook. Now, I haven't been here very long, probably about 15-20 minutes now since my lines have made it to the water. Just watching, watch that high vis line. If you see it start to swim off, you know you want to pick it up and you want to reel down your line. And fishing with a circle hook, you don't need to set the hook, you just reel down and it'll pull that hook into the corner of the jaw of that fish. Alright, something is pulling this one, see? Heck yeah, look at that, guys. I think we got one. Oh yeah, we got something. Oh, it's a big carp. Listen to that reel. Uh-oh, we've already got our string acting up on us. That's a good sized carp. I'm going to fight him down here, a little bit away from the other rod to wear him out. Because these things can pull. I just don't want him to cross my other line over there. That's what he's trying to do. Let's see if we can fight him this way. Oh man, it's a good size one too. Crap, he's gonna get that line. Let's see if I can keep him wore out and over to here. Now this is a medium heavy rod. Look at that rod. That's a heck of a fight. This carp can wear you out. Now this is a common carp, that's what we call it. Gotta watch too, he could wrap us around these big rocks and cause some serious issues. Try to work him back down this way a little bit so I can get my net. Definitely recommend getting a good net. You're gonna need it. Boys, fighting good. I'm just letting him wear out because it's the easiest way to do it. As you can see, he's just barely hooked on that bottom lip. I can still see my corn, and he's got that method lead just a few inches above him. Oh yeah, that's a big one. Good size. See if we can work him into our net without breaking that hook. Oh, he don't want to give up. Oop, nope, he's not done yet. Reel some slack in. Now they'll eventually tire down and You'll be able to net him pretty quick, but I don't like to wear him out too much. Overexert him. Just trying to keep him from getting in that other line. Boy, he does not want to go in that net. Oh, he's about bigger than my net. Golly, what a carp, guys. Look at that. It's a big old beauty. Like I said, that's a common carp. I'm going to set my pole down here. Let me get my pliers and my gloves because these boogers are super slimy. Hang on, buddy. Get this other glove. Nope. And he's loose. It's gonna try to hold him up for y'all, but super slimy as you can see. Maybe the next one. Oh man. Whew. Got me good. Boy, that's a lot of fun. Alright guys, let's check our rig out and see if he damaged it any. Then we will get right back and out and in there. Alright guys, I fixed my rig up a little bit. I think I got a little too much line on this reel. I'm going to have to take some off of it when we get home. But as of right now, I can work with it, make it work. I'm going to go ahead and pack this one back up. I ended up saving my hook and my corn. So I'm going to push that corn up just a little bit there. Now, that's one of the best investments I've ever bought as far as carp fishing goes, and that is that those little rubber pieces of corn. They will stick to your line, and little bluegill, they have a hard time trying to pull that off there, and you end up not having to rebait real pieces of corn all the time. Alright, so we've got one good one on the board. I think that one was pushing 10 pounds. It was nice. Pull that one in just a little bit. I don't want to be on top of that big rock. Pull the slack out of my line. Make sure that my drag is set. Oh, set my gloves back. Somebody's fishing line. Put it here with that trash. I'll take it out when I get ready to go. Alright, let's go ahead and pull this one in and rebait it while we're at it. Only seen a that'd be why that one's not doing too good. Got hung up in a leaf. Probably scaring them away with that. We chummed that water back up. We got our poles baited and back out. We're good to go again, guys. So when I caught this one over here on this pole here, as I was watching, I noticed that my line kept getting knocked slack. So I knew something was playing with it. I just, you know, you're not for sure exactly what you got going on down there. Could be other fish picking at it. Could be the current flipped it over the edge of a rock or something. But, you know, I waited a few more minutes because I wanted to be for certain that there wasn't one picking around. And after about 10 minutes, eventually he ended up picking up that piece of corn. And as you could see, he took off with that rod. He was fighting it good. A lot of fun, guys. It's really fun to catch a big fish like that. And that's actually a smaller common carp. I've seen some river carp in here that are pushing 15-20 pounds, and I guarantee you, if we hooked into one of them, it's going to be a heck of a fight. It would be amazing to catch it on video for you guys, but there's some pretty big carp out here. So as we continue to progress into our day, there goes a carp right over there near our bait. That's a good sign. I can see him swimming around right there. I'm just going to keep an eye on that line and that pole. Now you do really want to utilize your drag system, because these fish, when they take off with that hook, they get super startled, and they've got some extreme muscle. I mean, they pack a good hard punch. They will swim off really fast. They can almost yank that pole out of the ground. So you definitely need to keep your eye out. Make sure you got your rod holders deep down in the ground. Not something soft that's just going to pull right out, because you'll lose a fishing pole in a heartbeat. But just keep an eye out for that, and work or utilize that drag system as best as you can. Now, if you could see where I've been washing my hands along the banks here, there are all kinds of little teeny tiny minnows and stuff coming up here, bait fish, chewing that bread up. Man, this one took off. About didn't get it in time. I thought it looked like something was playing with it. Alright, I want to tighten my drag up just a little bit so we can fight this fish. I'm going to fight him over here for a little bit, kind of wear him out. Look at that. He's pulling hard. Got to try to keep him out of that tree though. Is it a carp that we got? It's acting a little bit funny. Yep, it's carp. Another common carp. Whew, I gotta watch. He's pulling us around these big rocks here. A little bit smaller than that last one. A little closer to the 5-pound range, I would guess, or a little less. Oh, splashed me. He wasn't happy. Thought he'd get us back, I guess. Oh man, he's pulling good on that drag. Try to keep him out of that other pole. We don't want him in that line. Get my net ready. Very important to have a net ready, guys. You're definitely going to want a net with you if you're going to carp fish. Come here, buddy. Come on, stay out of them rocks. Oh, he don't want that net. Whew. Let's see if I can get some more slack in. Oh. Come on, stay in the net. Whew, it's hard to do if you're out here by yourself. Boy, I was wrong. Feels like he's a little bit more than 5 pounds. Whew. Heavy booger. All right. I'll let some line out. Let me get my gloves and my pliers once again. Uh-oh. Got my rod all tangled up in that mess. Oh well. We'll figure that out in a minute. Put some gloves on because like I said, these boogers are super duper slimy. Oh. Alright, we'll see if we can find that. Oh. Our hook. Oh, he broke it. He broke it. There he goes. It'll rust and it'll fall right back off though. But that means we got to retie. I was hoping we wouldn't do that, guys. Alright, let me get resituated. Alright guys, I rebaited the other pole there and I just put some more corn out in the water. I also poured a little bit in here so that I could pack my baits just a little bit better. A little bit of that corn juice, and that'll let us get a little bit softer bread so that we could pack it good to that weight, like so. Oh, I'm gonna rinse my hand off. I don't want to get that all over my rod handle, make a mess, a sticky mess. Alright, I'm going to cast this one out. Let it sink to the bottom for a few seconds. Alright, this rod just took off while I was trying to reset up the other. Oh, he's pulling good. Tighten that drag just a little bit. Oh man, he's trying to take me plumb into the banks over there. Whew. Oh no, I think he's got me hung on something. Tighten that drag up just a little bit. Alright, he's coming back this way. It's a good fighter. Oh man, this one is pulling good. I think we got a big one here. This could be a big snapping turtle though. I don't feel like he's fighting very good. Golly. I think he's got me hung in something. Yeah, dang, it's got me hung on something. Golly. Look at that. Oh yeah, he broke it. Man, whatever that was, it was big. Yep. He snapped that 15-pound line. I don't know if it was a snapping turtle or what, but it was big. It pulled me clean over there into them rocks. And I mean, there just wasn't no giving. It was a carp. It was a really big one because I couldn't even muscle him. But it was moving awful quick to be a turtle too, so I don't know on that one, guys. Just another heartbreaker. So now I got 2 poles down. I'm gonna have to put some hooks and stuff back on them. I'll be right back. Alright guys, hopefully you guys can see this. I don't know if my camera angle is right, but it comes in a couple of pieces. So the very first piece that you want to thread to your main line is going to be this cap. Now you're going to run your line through the head of the cap like so. Then you're going to run this shank. Wow, look, he bent that shank. That's how powerful that fish was. You're going to run that up through your method feeder, and then you're going to go down through that shank until you get some line over here on the other side like so. And I'm going to pull out some slack, and then I'm going to push this cap on the bottom here like so. So there's your upper part of your rig. Next you're going to tie it to your barrel swivel. So I like to use Palomar knot. So I'm going to Palomar knot this to this barrel swivel. It's real simple, easy to tie, and effective knot. Strong too. Oops. You could also do a tri-lane knot. Some people will actually snell it, but I don't really have all the time for that right now. I'm trying to get right back out and in there. We've got some bigger game that seems to have showed up. Either it was a big turtle, which it didn't fight like a turtle, fight more like a carp did, or it was a really big river carp. I just couldn't do nothing with him with this 15-pound line. Alright, you're going to wet your knot, and you're going to sink it, pull it tight, cinch it. Right, that one didn't sink or cinch quite as well as I'd hoped it would. Let's see if I can fix that. There we go. Alright, we're going to cut our tag end off. Get my pocket knife out. Something you should definitely bring with you too. Comes in handy for cutting this line. Just make sure you cut the tag end off, not the main line. I keep my line with me because I reuse it for the bottom part of this rig. Now, let me set that down for just a second. So what that barrel does is it sinks up inside of that shank right there. I don't know if you guys can see that good, but I'm going to push that up and in there. So we have an inline method here. Shoot, if I can get it to pop in there. Sometimes you have to pop the shank out and work it in like so, but usually I can get it to pop in easily. Now once I've got that sank in, I'll go ahead and I'll re-pop that on the top here. And that's what your method's going to look like. And then with this extra end I got here, I'll tie on my circle hook, which will be a, I think it's eagle claws that I'm using. Not quite for sure on the size. I just buy a couple packs of them, but they work very well. Really good at hooking those fish. Right. Now all I'll do is I'll either Palomar knot or I'll tri-lane tie that knot to that hook, and we'll be good to go. Alright guys, it's getting to be the middle part of the day. It's getting pretty hot. It's Skies opened up, cleared up. I haven't noticed hardly any carp swimming by anymore. Not a lot of activity. I have seen my line dance a few times, but never did hook into anything. Thinking it's got a lot to do with the little snapping turtles running around. I have seen 3 or 4 of them. So I believe we're going to call it quits here in about 15 minutes. Just because there's no activity and it's getting pretty hot. I think the fish might have moved on. Alright guys, so earlier, like I said, bite kind of died off, and I don't know what kind of trash that is, but I said before I left I would grab some of this trash. That's what I'm gonna do. Yeah, oh man, that's disgusting. I'm going to pick up anything nasty that I don't know what it is. Shame people are like that. Leave their garbage everywhere. Usually it's just trashy people or bums, alcoholics. It's all the same. When I got here, this whole bank was just littered with all kinds of trash. I went and found a Walmart bag in my car and picked up as much as I could, filled it up, and obviously there's no trash can out here because it's just a boat ramp, but you know, if you're gonna come out here and you're gonna fish and enjoy the outdoors, take your garbage back with you. Don't leave your beer cans here and your pop bottles, your worm cartons. I don't even know what that is. It looks like a jug of oil. I don't have a clue what that was used for. Got some more right here, but if you're that kind of fisherman and you're shaming the rest of us fishermen, then just don't even bother. Stay home, stop reproducing, don't go out into the outdoors.